Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are here to present the Rana Plaza collapse, a tragic industrial disaster. Me, Muhammad Jasmi bin Muledi, and we have Hashimah, Ali Fahan, Muhammad Zul Hilmi, and Muhammad Haris Akmal. So, the Rana Plaza collapse was one of the deadliest industrial disaster in history, marking a dark moment in the global garment industry. This 8-story building in Sabah, Dhaka, Bangladesh, housed multiple garment factories supplying fast fashion brands. On April 24, 2013, it collapsed, claiming over 1,100 lives and injuring more than 2,500 people. This presentation aims to shed light on the events that led to the tragedy, its global significance, and the urgent lessons we need to learn to prevent such disaster in the future. So what happened on April 24, 2013, the Rana Plaza building, an 8-story commercial complex, collapsed in Sabah, Dhaka, Bangladesh. The structure housed 5 garment factories, a bank, and several shops. Despite visible cracks in the building the day before, workers were forced to return to work under immense pressure from factory owners. So why is it significant? Its disaster is significant because it exposed systemic problems in the global fashion industry. It highlighted labor rights violations, including unsafe working conditions and exploitative practices. Moreover, it reveals structural negligence and the consequence of prioritizing profit over human life. This tragedy forced the world to confront the dark side of fast fashion, sparking global conversation about sustainability, ethical sourcing, and corporate accountability. It serves as a grim reminder of the cost of cheap labor and the urgent need for reform in the garment industry.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Haris Akmal bin Muhammad Sofian, and I will talk about background on Rana Plaza. This building, originally designed for commercial purposes like offices, was later converted into industrial use to house garment factories. It became a central hub for suppliers to some of the world's largest fashion brands, including Primark, Walmart, and Benetton. Now, here are some key statistics to understand the scale of the operations at Rana Plaza. Over 5,000 workers were employed in this single building. However, despite the massive workforce, workers are earned as little as $68 per month, reflecting the harsh realities of the fast fashion industry. Okay, next is causes of the collapse. The building structure was severely compromised due to the use of substandard materials. Moreover, 3 additional floors were constructed illegally, which the original design could not support. It's worth noting that cracks were detected in the building a day before the collapse. However, these warnings were dismissed by factory owners, and workers were forced to return to work under the threat of losing their jobs. The collapse was not only a result of structural failures, but also a reflection of systemic issues like corruption and the weak enforcement of building codes. Let's delve deeper into the negligence and weak regulatory environment. Factory owners ignored visible cracks reported by engineers, putting profit above safety. Workers face threat of termination if they refuse to work in such dangerous conditions. On the regulatory side, corruption in the approval process allowed unsafe modifications to the buildings. Additionally, the lack of regular inspection contributed to the tragedy. This catastrophe underscores the critical need for strict compliance with safety standards and ethical treatment of workers in industries like garment manufacturing.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ali Farhan bin Asrul Anwar. Okay, today I want to present about immediate effect at Rana Plaza collapse. The collapse result of 1,134 confirmed deaths and over 2,500 injuries. It is highlighting the massive scale of destruction. The rescue operation involved firefighters, volunteers, and soldiers. They are working tirelessly to locate survivors beneath the rubble. For the globally, many international clothing brands that sourced from factory were heavily critiqued for failing to ensure safe working conditions. The rescuers struggled with unstable rubber and insufficient equipment, that making it is a dangerous task to recover survivors. Volunteer and international aid play a vital role. They are providing essential support such as food, emergency medical care, and emotional assistance to survivors. This disaster also sparked widespread protest from government workers. They demand accountability from factory owner and international brand, highlighting systematic injustice within the factory industry. For the long-term consequences, this tragedy left a lasting impact on survivors and their families. Many survivors now live with permanent disabilities and physiological trauma, such as PTSD. Many families receive little to no compensation for their loss and suffering. On a global scale, one major step was the creation of the Bangladesh Accord on Fire and Building Safety, which aimed to ensure stricter safety standards for factories in Bangladesh. And additionally, there has been a push for greater transparency in supply chain. Many brands are now emphasizing ethical sourcing and fair labor practice, reflecting a shift toward more responsible business practice. This tragedy became a turning point in how the world views and addresses issues within the government industry.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Hashima Abdullah. The Rana Plaza collapse in 2013 was a big warning for the clothing industry. Besides the immediate tragedy, it caused many long-term change. One important result was a Bangladesh Accord on Fire and Building Safety, which brought stronger safety rules for factories. Worldwide, brands start being more open about where and how their products are made. They are focused more on fair and safe working conditions for workers. Okay, next is lesson learned. Lesson learned. Okay, this disaster taught us how important it is for workers to have a voice. The lack of responsibility and weak safety check lead to this tragedy. It reminds companies and government that they must follow safety rules to protect workers. Okay, comparison with similar disaster. As you can see here, when we compare Rana Plaza to the past tragedies like the Triangle Shirtwaist fire in 1911, we see the same problem, which is unsafe workplace, ignore warning, and worker abuse. But this event also show how how that change can happen after a disaster. The conclusion is the Rana Plaza collapse brought more important change and more awareness. Now it's our job to keep supporting safe and fair working conditions so this doesn't happen again.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zalmi Mezuki. In this slide, you want to see Here we see a stark visual representing of the impact of structural flaw in the Rana Plaza building collapse, which contribute to 69% of death in RMG, ready-made German garment industry disaster. This is compared to fires which account for 27% and other collapse, which represent 4%. What this pie chart highlight is not just the enormity of the tragedy, but the systemic failure to prioritize worker safety in an industry that is the backbone of economy like Bangladesh. Next slide. Ethical dilemmas, the role of global brand. The Rana Plaza disaster also raises significant ethical dilemmas regarding the role of global brands. Were these companies complicit in ignoring worker safety to maintain low production costs? The image here shows the human cost of negligence on the left, grieving family, on the right, worker demanding safer conditions. While some brands responded by joining safety initiative, it begs the question, has enough been done to hold the accountable? More importantly, are we as consumers inadvertently supporting this practice through our purchasing choice? Next slide. Conclusion, call to action. To conclude, the Rana Plaza tragedy is not just a story of structural flaw but also of a flawed system that value profit over human life. This slide summarizes the need for stronger labor rights and better safety measures. As consumers, we have the power to drive change by supporting ethical brands that prioritize safety and fair wage. I leave you with this question: what can we do as individuals to ensure our choice can contribute to more ethical labor practice worldwide? Thank you.